Good morning to all. Myself, Simi Mathew, currently working as a lecturer in Department of Mental Health Nursing, Amala College of Nursing, Thrissur, Kerala. First of all, I would like to extend my profound gratitude to IJSR for giving me this opportunity to present my research article in this online platform. The skin, like a cloak, covers us all over, the oldest and the most sensitive of our organs, our first medium of communication, and our most efficient of protectors. The dermatological diseases have an effect on daily life, self-confidence, and self-respect. Psoriasis is a chronic, non-communicable, painful, disfiguring, and disabling disease for which there is no cure and with great negative impact on patients' quality of life. So, considering the psychological aspects of the disease is very important in psoriasis patients. Depressive symptoms and patients with psoriasis attending government medical college. Depressive symptoms. Identify the self-esteem of patients with psoriasis. Find the correlation between depressive symptoms and self-esteem among patients with psoriasis. Find the association between depressive symptoms and selected variables among patients with psoriasis. Finally, find the association between self-esteem and selected variables among patients with psoriasis. Hypothesis: there is a significant correlation between depressive symptoms and self-esteem among patients with psoriasis. There is a significant association between depressive symptoms and selected variables among patients with psoriasis. There is a significant association between self-esteem and selected variables among patients with psoriasis. Research methodology. In this research, purposefully sampled 85 psoriasis patients attending dermatology outpatient department of Government Medical College Hospital, Thrissur. The tools are Tool 1, Socio-demographic data sheet of psoriasis patients. Tool 2, Beck Depression Inventory. Tool 3, Rosenberg Self-Esteem Scale. Analysis and interpretation. First session, Socio-demographic characteristics of patient with psoriasis. Table 1 reveals that 27.1% of patients with psoriasis were between the age group of 39 to 48 years and the mean age was 48.61 plus or minus 12.44. The majority, 63.5% of patients with psoriasis were males. This is one of the limitations in my study. The limitation is the representation of gender was unequal with the predominance of male participants. 50.7% of the participants were studied up to primary education. 50.6% of participants were unemployed. Majority, 75.3% of patients with psoriasis resides in Panchayat area. 2.4% of patients with psoriasis are married. 60% of the participants belongs to BPL category. Figure 2 shows that 85.7% of patients have family history of psoriasis. Percentage of patients with psoriasis is current social involvement. Majority, 88.2% of patients with psoriasis had psychological support, whereas 70.6% of patients with psoriasis had information support from this family. 36.5% of subjects were suffering with psoriasis for 6 to 10 years. Had psoriasis all over the body. That 95.3% mental illness. Section 2, depressive symptoms of patients with psoriasis. 38.7% of patients with psoriasis had normal ups and downs and 55.3% had mild mood disturbance. Self-esteem of patients with psoriasis. 67.1% of the patients with psoriasis had average self-esteem. Section 4, correlation between depressive symptoms and self-esteem Calculated Pearson correlation coefficient was minus 0.38, and it is clear that there is a negative correlation between depressive symptoms and self-esteem among patients with psoriasis. Hence, it is interpreted that depressive symptoms increases, self-esteem of patient with psoriasis decreases slightly, and vice versa. Section 5. Association between depressive symptoms of patient with psoriasis and selected variables. It is interpreted that there was a significant association between depressive symptoms and gender. Finally, Section 6. Association between self-esteem of patients with psoriasis and selected variables. It is interpreted that there was a significant association between self-esteem and gender. Coming to the discussion part, the present study reveals that 63.5% of participants were males and 36.5% of participants were females. The study conducted in North India, psoriasis patients accounted for 2.3% of total dermatology outpatients. Of the total psoriasis patients, 67% were men and 33% were women, male to female ratio being 2.03:1. The assessment of depressive symptoms among patients with psoriasis revealed that 38.7% of patients with psoriasis had normal ups and downs, 55.3% had mild mood disturbance, 2.4% borderline, 1.2% had moderate depressive symptoms, and 2.4% had severe depressive symptoms. These findings were consistent with the findings of the study conducted to identify depressive disorders and quality of life in psoriasis patients. A total of 104 patients consented to be part of this study. Prevalence of depressive disorder was 39.4%. The present study findings are also in tune with the findings of a study conducted to analyze the coping strategies and self-esteem among patients with psoriasis. A total of 102 patients diagnosed with psoriasis aged 25 to 65 years were participated in this study. Similarly, in present study, 32.9% had low self-esteem, 67.1% had average self-esteem, and none of them had high self-esteem. A study conducted in 217 consenting psoriasis patients to identify suicidal ideation in psoriasis. The study revealed that 9.7% of patients reported a wish to death, 5.5% reported active suicidal ideation at the time of study. The death wish and suicidal ideation were associated with higher depressive scores. The study results were controversial to the present study findings in that none of them had suicidal ideation. Conclusion: there is a negative correlation between depressive symptoms and self-esteem among patients with psoriasis. There is a significant association between depressive symptoms and gender among patients with psoriasis. There is a significant association between self-esteem and gender among patients with psoriasis. This is my research article, and finally, with a profound sense of gratitude, I praise and thank God Almighty for His love, strength, abundant blessings showered upon me throughout this study. I also express my sincere gratitude to Dr. N. Ashokan, HOD of Dermatology Department, Government Medical College Hospital, Thrissur, for valuable suggestions and excellent guidance for the completion of this study. The researcher expresses my sincere gratitude to all the participants in the study for their cooperation for successful completion of the study. With profound joy and happiness, I extend my heartfelt thanks towards my parents for their loving presence, boundless cooperation, and unlimited encouragement. Thank you.